right? They just tell you what can be done to make the dish. So in the same way, we have guidelines which are known as frameworks, and there are multiple frameworks available on the internet for ethical hacking and cybersecurity, and different companies follow different frameworks. Some of the frameworks that I like to follow are PTF and PTES. PTES is penetration testing execution standard. So it is a very good guideline. It is basically a guideline of how you can access or what you should do and what form you should interact in. So it has, if you would have seen, it has a pre-engagement interaction, intelligence gathering. So these come under recon. Similarly, there are better frameworks as well. Hello, yes, Simplish. Were you gone for a moment there? Hello, Simplish.
Hello.
Yes, Simplish. Can you hear me? Hello, Simplish. Can you hear me? Hello, Simplish. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, Simplish. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, right. So this is the PTF penetration testing framework, and this is PTS penetration testing execution standard. We look at here. So these almost all the frameworks have a similar pattern in which you have to follow the steps, and just guides you or and helps you better when you're writing a report, right? So the first thing always would be in
Sir,
the
take a
reconnaissance
video.
or footprinting. Hello, hello, can you hear me, Santosh?
Yes, I'm listening.
Yeah, right. So the first thing always, if you look, would be reconnaissance or footprinting or pre-engagement interactions or intelligence gathering. So all these steps are the basic things that you do, and which covers discovery, probing, and how you scan the network, right? A lot of it is also fingerprinting. So we have scanning, probing, we have fingerprinting, and OSNet and stuff like that, right? So now what we're going to do is, now that we have known these things, first we'll try to engage in a demo. I'll show you just a demo of how we can scan and probe other networks. So there are two types, as I said. There is a passive and active. Passive is when you don't directly interact. So how can you use passive intelligence when you do not want to directly interact with a source, right? So what would we do? Let's assume I have a website. So one second, I'll show you a few websites that are actually vulnerable. And then we'll just give a probe on there, and I'll show you in real how we can actually scan those websites and what we can do, right? So there is this website where you can actually try things that you want to hack. We'll use the most basic thing wherein the configuration is Apache, PHP, and MySQL. That is something I would like us to begin with. So, this website, Wallen Web, is an online platform that helps ethical hackers and cybersecurity professionals to test their skills. And it is legally allowed to try and hack these websites because they are made for the very same purpose, right? Okay, so now if we want to test it, what I could do is I could always find the first thing you do is to find what the website is, where it is hosted. What you do is you open a CMD, you ping the website. So just remove. Right. Now that I'm getting a ping, that means the site is up, right? But the good thing ping command does in either Linux or Windows is that it gives you IP address of where the website is hosted. But do any of you have hosted a website
So yeah, I
ever?
have.
Simplish,
Huh?
right? Simplish, have you hosted the website?
Am I what?
Have you ever hosted a website?
No, no, no.
No, right. Okay. So, if you have hosted a website, you would have known that the platforms like GoDaddy or other hosting services give you the option to host multiple websites in just one folder, right? Or in just one package. So this IP address, we need to check whether this IP address, this is the only website that is hosted on this IP address. One of the ways is just copy the space and do a reverse IP lookup. So there is this website called View DNS where if you just put the website itself and you go for domain IP lookup or you get ping. So if you don't want to actively interact, the best thing would be to use this website. See, if you want to know the difference, this is a passive ping and this is an active ping. Reason when you ping a website, the server logs capture your IP address. So my IP address would be shown there. That means it is active. When I directly involve with the website, it is active probing or active scanning. But here this website is providing me the service. So I'm not directly using it, which is why this is known as passive reconnaissance and this is known as active reconnaissance. Did you get the difference? I want both of you to know if you're clear. Simplest, did you understand what I was saying?
A little bit. Not very clearly, but a little bit.
Abdul, did you understand what I was saying? Abdul? Alright, so Simplest, I'll just explain you again. This is the website link, right? This is what the
Yeah.
website is,
So what are we trying to do
right?
first? I'm still confused. What is the purpose of that?
Now we are actually starting to attack a target that is online.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
and the first step when you start attacking is to perform a reconnaissance, that is a background check or a scan of what the target is, which is
Okay.
known as recon.
Okay.
Now, when we are doing a reconnaissance, uh, it's easier always to start with knowing the IP address of the target because then that is how you can map the website to a particular address. You need address to attack, right? When you
Mm-hmm.
want to attack something or when you want to send a mail, what do you need first is an address, not the name of the person. You need the address to send a mail to the
Baby,
person, right?
tu peux me répondre là?
Hello,
Hi, good morning.
Yeah, we're busy.
We're just leaving this invitation with all of our neighbors. It's to an event coming up. All the details are inside. Thank you.
hello,
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, you're welcome. Have a nice day.
hello.
Okay, pas de temps.
Simple.
Yes, I'm here.
Right. So, even if in real world, if you want to send a mail to someone, like a postcard or an envelope, do you need the name or the address of the person to send a postcard to?
Huh?
When you want to send a postcard to someone, or your friend or a relative, what do you need?
I need a card.
And also the address, right? To
Ah,
send the
yes, yes,
postcard.
yes, yes. If I go to the
Right.
post office, I need the address of the destination.
Right. You cannot just give the name of your friend and the post office will send the mail. It